Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 17, entitled Victory of Hiraṇyākṣa over all the direction of the universe, text 20. Hiraṇyākṣo nujastasya priyah priti kritanvaham gadapanirdivam yato yuyutsur mrigayan ranam. Hiraṇyākṣa, Anujaha, younger brother, Tasya, his, Priyaha, beloved, Priti, Krit, ready to please, Anu aham, every day, Gadapanihi, with a club in hand, Divam, to the higher planets, Yataha, traveled, Yuyutsuhu, desirous to fight, Mrigayan, seeking, Ranam, combat. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. His younger brother, Hiraṇyākṣa, was always ready to satisfy his elder brother by his activities. Hiraṇyākṣa took a club on his shoulder, and traveled all over the universe with a fighting spirit just to satisfy Hiranyakashipu. Purport. The demoniac's spirit is to train all family members to exploit the resources of this universe for personal sense gratification, whereas the godly spirit is to engage everything in the service of the Lord. Hiranyakashipu was himself very powerful, and he made his younger brother Hiraṇyākṣa powerful to assist him in fighting with everyone and lording it over material nature as long as possible. If possible, he wanted to rule the universe eternally. These are demonstrations of the spirit of the demoniac living entity. Hare Krishna. So we continue our discussion on how Hiranyakashipu wanted to rule over the universe, and he employed also his family members to assist him in his demoniac spirit. And we can see here how his younger brother Hiraṇyākṣa was always ready to satisfy his elder brother by his activities. This is actually a very good quality, very rarely seen in modern days. To accept some authority, actually, and try to please him. Yes. This is actually the secret to success in life. And Hiranyākṣa was very successful. He was killed by Lord Bo himself. Yes, he achieved the ultimate perfection. He received personal darshan of the Lord. Yes, a very intimate darshan. They were very close to the Lord. Lord touched him with his hoof, transcendental hoof. Yes, a very powerful connection, we could say. So we can see here how materialistic people are fighting for their own sense gratification, for to have their personal interest in the center. And we also discuss the Dāmodarāṣṭaka prayers by Satyavrata Muni. And yesterday we mentioned how in the first verse of the Dāmodarāṣṭaka, Satyavrata Muni presents, although the Lord is most powerful and not afraid of any demons, as we can see from these pastimes here in Bhagavatam, he is nevertheless afraid of his mother. And he doesn't fake his fear. This is even more astonishing. One may say that he's just playing to be afraid. No, but Queen Kunti is praying that she's bewildered how he's really afraid, although he's Supreme Lord in her prayers in 8th chapter of 1st canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Lord was really afraid, was not just playing to be afraid. And Mother Yashoda was extremely weak in comparison to these great demons. Yes, but still, he was afraid because of certain relationship, because he had loving relationship. And we concluded yesterday that love or bhakti is supremely powerful, more powerful than the Lord himself. So it is explained in 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mukti dadati karhichit smana bhakti-yogam. That Lord easily gives mukti, liberation. And we could see in Vrindavan Lila, Lord gave liberation to many demons. No problem. Just have it. Liberation. It's not something that Lord is concerned about, but He's concerned about bhakti. He doesn't want to give bhakti just as easily, because He Himself is controlled by bhakti. It's most powerful, and therefore Lord is very careful to whom He gives bhakti. Yes. And then in the next verse of the Dāmodarāṣṭaka, which we'll sing now, the Lord, the Satyavrata Muni further explains this special pastime. Rudanta muhur netra yugmam rijantam karam bocha yugmena satanka netram. Muhushvasakam patririkam kakanta stita griva Dāmodaram bhakti-badam.
Muhushvasakam patririkam kakanta stita griva Dāmodaram bhakti-badam.
Yes, and we can see in this verse that the Lord is bhakti-badam. He's bound by bhakti. And he cried very bitterly. Yes, he cried and cried in fear of his mother. Yes, Rudantam means crying. He was crying. And as he was crying, he was rubbing his eyes with his very delicate and sweet hands. And since his eyes were smeared with kajal, this is black ointment from firewood, his face was smeared with this kajal all over. Yes. And he was sobbing, and he was really afraid of his mother. And then Mother Yashoda was very angry at Krishna, at least she played like this, with stick in her hand. And she chastised Krishna very severely. You thief, chora. Chora means thief. Why did you steal butter? And Krishna said, there is no chora in my family lineage. There is chora in your family lineage, because chora was the name of one of the forefathers of Mother Yashoda. So, thieves comes from your family side. I'm not a thief. And Mother Yashoda said, you are a thief. Yes. Why did you steal butter? I didn't steal butter, said Krishna. But you feed the monkeys with the butter. And Krishna said, no, I just wanted to chase them away. And she said, you broke the butter pot. And she said, no, when you ran to take the milk from the stove, your anklet crushed the butter pot. And then said Mother Yashoda, and then why your face was smeared with butter around your mouth? And Krishna said, when I chased the monkeys away, monkeys with hands full of butter smeared my face with butter. So they had such sweet conversation. And so Mother Yashoda was thinking, my little boy is not just a thief, he's also a liar. So I have to teach him a lesson. And because I have much service to do for Krishna, I have to secure him not to do any more nonsense, because he can put himself in real trouble if he will commit any naughtiness. So I will bind him to the grinding mortar. And she took a ribbon from her hair, which was quite long actually, and it is described by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that Lord's belly was measuring 12 fingers. Yes. And so she wanted to tie him, but it turned out that this ribbon was 2 fingers too short. And then this whole pastime was observed also by other elderly gopis. And Yashoda said to these ladies, please help me bring some more rope, because this ribbon is too short. And then they brought more rope, and she tied together, and again it was 2 fingers too short. And then more and more rope was brought to Mother Yashoda. And although Krishna's belly didn't grow any bigger, it was still 12 fingers around the belly. Still, although the rope was unlimitedly long, we can say, still was 2 fingers too short. And all the elderly gopis were watching this fun, and no one could understand how is this possible. That Krishna's belly is not getting bigger and the rope is longer and longer, but it's always 2 fingers too short. And Mother Yashoda then really decided, very stubbornly, that she wanted to see the circumference of Krishna's belly. And she really wanted to tie him very very gravely. She wanted to punish her child and teach him a good lesson, not to do any nonsense anymore. And Krishna didn't want to be tied, so he didn't allow Mother Yashoda to tie him. So he was also calling Rohini to help him, but she didn't help him. She helped Mother Yashoda. So, but when Krishna saw how Mother Yashoda is laboring very hard to tie him, she perspired and really was trying her best to tie Krishna. Then Krishna, by his mercy, allowed Mother Yashoda to tie him. And as you probably know, this tying of Krishna has very deep esoteric meaning. And these two fingers that were lacking to Mother Yashoda to tie Krishna represents two extremely important things in spiritual life, in our spiritual journey. And these two things is one's own endeavor in spiritual life, as everything depends on us. All spiritual advancement depends only on us. We should have this mood. And the other finger represents Krishna's mercy. So no spiritual advancement is possible without Krishna's mercy. Yes. So these two features in spiritual life are extremely important. And in this regard, and there are, we can speak about a little bit of philosophy of followers of Ramanuja, Sri Vaishnavas. There are two types of Ramanuja bhaktas. And one type is Vadakalai and the other is Tenkalai devotees. One, they more follow the Vedic scriptures, and the other more follow Tamil scriptures. So, Vadakalai part of Ramanuja's followers, they have this Markata Nyaya, or they compare devotee to a baby monkey that is carried around by the mother monkey. So mother monkey doesn't hold her child. She jumps from one branch to another, and baby monkey has to hold on his mother not to fall. And if he falls, then mother monkey doesn't pick him up. She just leave him there to die, actually. Yes. And other followers of Ramanuja, with this Tenkalai, they have Marjara Nyaya. Marjara means a cat. Nyaya means logic of a cat. And they say, according to their philosophy, the devotee is as dependent on the Lord as a small kitten is dependent on his mother. So the kitten doesn't put any effort to being carried from one place to another. Mother just picks him up and takes him from one place to another. And so these Vadakalai devotees think that everything depends on the endeavor. in spiritual life. But those with Marjara Nyaya think that everything depends on Krishna's mercy. But our philosophy is combination, we can say, of both. And it's compared to a person who fell in deep dark well. This is famous. Comparison from Bhagavatam. Also, Prahlad Maharaj taught Hiraṇyākṣa, as we also speak in our classes about Hiraṇyākṣa. He said that he fell in deep dark well. So, and then the liberated person comes to this deep dark well and sees that there is someone who fell in the well, and he helps him by lowering the rope in the well. And then he calls to this person, just grab the rope and I will take you out. So he has to grab the rope. Jai Shri Panchatattva ki Jai. So this is his endeavor. He has to put his endeavor. But on the other hand, he's completely dependent on the mercy of the one who will take him out. Yes. So both fingers are needed for spiritual advancement. Our own endeavor and Krishna's mercy. Krishna's mercy. Yes, and as this verse explains, that Lord is bound by bhakti. By bhakti. And as we discussed yesterday, Lord is not satisfied by this external devotion. Lord is conquered by our heartfelt devotion. Therefore, it's very important to try to develop deep bhava for Krishna. And Prabhupada, in his purports to this lila in Srimad Bhagavatam, explains that this is very appropriate lila for those who would like to develop parental relationship with Krishna. Yes. So these lilas in Bhagavatam and all other scriptures are meant for us to understand first that there are different relationships with Krishna. Whole our philosophy is based on this, of this deep understanding of different relationships with Krishna. And this philosophy is supported by different pastimes of Krishna, just for us to develop deep desire to attain them, to attain such bhava ourselves also. This is the purpose of studying scriptures, actually, to think of Krishna and to develop deep hankering for certain relationship with Krishna, certain bhava with Krishna. This is very much important. Of course, to enter this 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada explains that we should very carefully and diligently study all 9 cantos before. And then we receive qualification for entering the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We cannot just jump over these different relationships that are explained before in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. First, to understand how Lord appears in many different forms, also as Lord Bo, who killed Hiraṇyākṣa, and the most powerful demons in the universe, and so on. Yes, but ultimately, all these leelas should lead us to proper understanding of Krishna in Vrindavan. Yes. And with this proper understanding of Krishna in Vrindavan, which are so sweet, but at the same time unapproachable also. They are not easily approachable. It is explained by the prayers of Nagapatnis, the wives of serpent Kaliya Naga, that even Lakshmi Devi herself performed austerities for centuries to enter Rasa Lila, to receive the dust from the feet of Lord Krishna on her head, but she was not successful. Yes, and Lord Chaitanya discussed this pastime with Venkatabhakta in Ranga Kshetra when Lord Chaitanya went for South Indian tour. He spent Chaturmasya, 4 months in the association of Venkatabhata, and they discussed Krishna's pastimes. And Venkatabhata was a worshipper of Lakshmi Narayan, and Lord Chaitanya joked with him that how is it that Lakshmi performed austerities to associate with Krishna? Yes. And Venkatabhata couldn't answer this question. He said that yes, Krishna and Narayan are the same personality, but Krishna's pastimes are more sweet, so Lakshmi is not unchaste if she wants to associate with Krishna. Just she wants to enjoy with her Lord in some different way. But then Lord Chaitanya asked Venkatabhata why she couldn't enter these pastimes then. And he couldn't explain this mystery, actually. But yes, although the gopis attained Krishna, she couldn't. And why she couldn't attain Krishna? Do you have any idea? Yes. She was attached to opulent way of worshiping Krishna. Yes, the same. Actually, she was attached to her position of being Lakshmi, of being the queen of Vaikuntha. Yes, she didn't want to change her position, actually. She didn't consider this. Yes. Actually, Krishna is achieved in conjugal love only by the milkmaids, not by the queens. Even queens of Dwaraka who married Krishna, they couldn't attain Krishna Rasa Lila or Krishna in Vrindavan, because they maintained this idea that they are Krishna's queens. Yes, not Krishna's lovers, simple cowherd ladies. Yes, they are glorious queens, worshipped by everyone else. Not simple cowherd ladies. Yes, but the sages from Dandakaranya who met Lord Ram, they attained Krishna in Vrindavan, because they were worshipping Lord Gopal with this desire. And when they saw Lord Ramachandra, they recognized him that he's the same personality as they worship. and they developed great desire to enjoy with Lord Ram, but they were ashamed to voice their desire. So they didn't pray anything like this to Lord Ramachandra. But Lord Ramachandra could understand, because he's the super soul in everyone's heart. He understood their desire. So he fulfilled their desire, and they were born in Vrindavan as Rishichari gopis. Rishi means these sages, and Rishichari gopis means gopis. They were born in Vrindavan as sadhana siddha gopis. Sadhana siddha gopis means those gopis who attained perfection by sadhana. Yes. Because it is explained that there are two types of gopis in Vrindavan. One type of gopi are nitya siddha gopis, eternally perfect gopis. And other type of gopis are sadhana siddha gopis, are gopis who attain perfection by spiritual practice. And there are two types of sadhana siddha gopis. And one type of sadhana siddha gopis are ordinary sadhana siddha gopis, and one type of sadhana siddha gopis are special gopis. And this special type of sadhana siddha gopis are also two types. And one type is Rishichari gopis, sadhana siddha gopis, which are these sages from Dandakaranya, and other special sadhana siddha gopis are Shrutichari gopis, the personified Vedas from previous kalpa, who prayed to the Lord to become gopis in their next life. So the personified Vedas became other type of sadhana siddha gopis in Vrindavan, who received personal association with Krishna. Those who were more purified, they attained Rasa Lila immediately when Krishna played on his flute. But there were some whose hearts was not completely pure from material contamination. And it is explained like this by our acharyas, that they physically enjoyed with their husband, and they gave birth to children. And when Krishna played his flute, they weren't allowed to associate with Krishna. They were stopped by their husbands and fathers and so on. And in separation from Krishna, they suffered terribly, and this agony of separation of Krishna burnt all the contamination from their heart. Yes, and then they received Krishna later on. Yes, first they received Krishna even though they were separated from Krishna in their hearts. Krishna appeared in their hearts. Although they didn't join him physically, he personally came into their hearts, and he had Rasa Lila with them also on the same night. Yes, it is explained this in later pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Uddhava came to give solace to the gopis. Yes. And some of them remembered how Krishna appeared to them at that particular night. So yes, I explained all these leelas just for us to understand how important it is to hanker for deep bhava for Krishna, certain bhava. Of course, we know that Lord Chaitanya brought this unatojvala rasa, or this conjugal love, which is forbidden and therefore so much more attractive. Yes, which is parakiya rasa, or unwedded love, which is forbidden. Of course, in modern times, it's nothing special if boys and girls are associating with one another in unmarried way. But this is not proper. Even in modern days, it's not proper. What to speak of these days? It's completely unacceptable by society. In modern society, it's acceptable. Everyone is behaving like this. But in that Vedic society, it was completely unacceptable. Yes. So, and therefore, the forbidden fruit is so more sweet. Yes. So we should try to go deep in these emotions and try to develop this hankering from Krishna. And also for Raganuga Bhakti, this hankering is needed. This deep desire is needed. Yes. This lobha, or greed for this, for such bhava. Yes. This is the only qualification for Raganuga Bhakti, is lobha, to have such relationship. Yes. There is no other qualification needed. Yeah. But to have such greed, we have to pray for mercy, because it is given only by mercy. Yes. Krishna tat bhakta karunya matra lubaika hetuka pushti margataya kaishit iyam raga nagorchate. It is called, this path of Raganuga Bhakti is path of mercy. Yes. Pushti margataya kaishit iyam raga nagorchate. Because it's given by Krishna tat bhakta karunya, by the mercy of Krishna or devotee. Matra lobaika hetuka. Hetu means the cause. The cause of lobha is mercy of Krishna or devotee. So it is not attainable. It's given by mercy. But as we could see from this Tankalai and Tenkalai and Vadakalai, devotees from Ramanuja Sampradaya, that we should hanker for mercy, but keep endeavoring with all our heart, as everything is dependent only on us. Although we are depending on mercy, but we should act as if everything depends on us. So Mother Yashoda also tried to bind Krishna, but her endeavor was unsuccessful until Krishna showed her his mercy. Yes. So we should also endeavor with all our heart, like Mother Yashoda endeavored, but and hanker for the mercy at the same time. Hanker for the mercy. And this represents this lila. So we should go deep in this lila. We should go deep in Dāmodarāṣṭakam. We should pray like this when we offer our lamps to Krishna, to Damodar. With this prayer, please Krishna, please give me this desire. I have no desire to attain you. I have just desire to exploit you. Hare Krishna. To be happy. But I don't want this. Although my heart is not pure, I want just to attain you, to develop deep loving relationship with you. I have no other desire, really. Or I don't allow other desire to be present in my heart, although they are present. You should know, you should not pretend that there are not other desires in our heart for material enjoyment. If we have such desires, of course. Usually, majority of people do have such desires. So, although they are there in the heart, we shouldn't give them any support. We should know, I want to get rid of these desires. Krishna, please help me get rid of these desires that prevent me to completely surrender to you. And how we can recognize such desires if we are not able to recognize them at the first sight. Then we can recognize them if we have any fear in our heart. Yes, fear is showing that we are attached to material things. Yes. Besides, of course, lust and envy. But these are very gross. Fear of any kind of fear. Fear of public speaking, fear of being attacked, fear of being cold, fear of being hungry. So many fears. Unlimited fears. Yes. But one who is completely dependent on Krishna, he doesn't have any fear. Yes. Abhaya Charanaravindarī. One who takes shelter of Krishna is Abhay. Srila Prabhupada was Abhay. Fearless. Yes, fearless. So, if we get back to this Leela, when this Leela was happening, there was no friends around. But then Balaram came and saw Lord Krishna tied to the mortar, wooden mortar, and he became furious. Who dared to bind my Kanai, my dear brother? And I will punish him immediately. And he was asking, who tied you? And someone said to Baladev on his ears, it was Mother Yashoda. And then Balaram just stopped, and he didn't know what to say. And he didn't say anything. And then, because, of course, if Mother Yashoda binds Krishna, that's something different. And then he tried to untie the knot that was binding Krishna to the mortar, but he couldn't. Why he couldn't untie the knot? You have an idea?
It was tied with such a love and devotion.
Yes, but Lord Balaram also has.
Krishna wanted it to remain so.
Krishna wanted to remain so. Hare Krishna. Yes, in final idea, maybe yes, but there is also some esoteric meaning. Because he was tied by Vatsalya Bhava. Vatsalya Bhava is beyond Sakya Bhava. So, this parental love for Krishna is more powerful than friendship to Krishna. And Lord Balaram was acting as Lord's friend, as Krishna's friend, although he himself also acts to Krishna as Ananga Manjari with this conjugal love, which is superior to Vatsalya Rasa. But in this form, as Lord Balaram, he acts as Krishna's friend. So he couldn't untie the knot. And then Krishna decided to liberate, and he remembered his dear devotee, Narada Muni, and how Narada Muni promised to cursed this Nalakuvar and Manigriva to become trees. These sons of Kuvera, who were extremely proud and attached to wealth and enjoyment. So he cursed them to become trees and to remember always their past lives. Yes. So they were trees standing naked for centuries in the courtyard of Maharaj Nanda. And these trees are famous, these Arjuna trees, are famous to have extremely deep roots, as that even most ferocious winds cannot uproot them. Yes, and they are so strong, these Arjuna trees. So Krishna remembered this pastime of his dear devotee and decided to liberate these two personalities. And Lord, of course, Narada Muni also promised when these two sons of Nalakuvar and Manigriva, they realized that they offended the great personality and they begged for mercy. And then Narada Muni promised them that they will be saved by Krishna. So Krishna fulfilled the promise of his devotee and just took over these two great trees with great crash. These two trees were gigantic and they fell down with enormous sound, crashing sound. And everyone was afraid what happened. And they came running to see what's going on. And they saw Krishna between two gigantic trees. And they were really terrified. Yes, both Mother Yashoda and also Maharaj Nanda came. And he saw Krishna tied to the wooden mortar. And he was terrified. Who bound you to the mortar? And Krishna said, my mother. And Maharaj Nanda was really upset with Mother Yashoda, with his wife. And he just untied the knot because he also had Vatsalya Bhav. He untied the knot and took Krishna on his lap. And Krishna was very happy to be saved by his father, and he was very angry at his mother. And mother, because she was very sorry and terrified because she saw little Krishna between two gigantic trees, and she wanted to take Krishna in her lap, but Krishna didn't want to go to her. And he just wanted to stay with Nanda Baba. And then later on, Rohini came and said to Krishna, please come to me. And he said, no, I don't want to go to you also. I called for you to help me, but you didn't help me. You helped Mother Yashoda. I don't want to go to you. I don't want to see you. And then other ladies asked Krishna, but who will feed you? And he said, my father will feed me. I said, okay, but you sleep with your mother every day. With whom will you sleep? I will sleep with my father. And he was really upset with Mother Yashoda. And then Maharaj Nanda asked Krishna, should I beat your mother because of this offense? And Krishna just blocked the mouth of his father. No, don't say such thing. Don't say such thing. And then Rohini came and said to Krishna, your mother is crying very much. What if she dies? And then when Krishna heard that Mother Yashoda can die, he just started to cry and ran to his mother, to her lap. Yes. And then she also cried, and everyone cried. Yes. So this is the end of this lila, of this binding lila. And of course, Krishna again very happily sucked the milk of his mother, of this liquid love that his mother had for him. So, from this lila, we should understand that the most important thing is to go deep in our sadhana. Because although our spiritual advancement is completely dependent on mercy, at the same time, we should take it as it is completely dependent on us and no one else. So we should show Krishna our utmost endeavor. Yes, there is no other hope to show Krishna our utmost endeavor and sincerity. And our endeavor and sincerity is expressed by following instruction of our spiritual master. So our spiritual master instructed us, every one of us, to chant the holy name without offense. So we should really try to connect with the Lord with chanting of the holy names. How can we connect really other way? Yes, there are many different kinds of services, but in Kali Yuga, Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nameva Kevalam, Kalo Nastiva, Nastiva, Nastiva Gatinata. There is no other way than chanting of the holy name. So, as explained by Jiva Goswami, every our service in Kali Yuga should be accompanied by chanting of the holy name. Yes. So, we should really try to go deep in our chanting of the holy name and put aside any other distraction. We should not allow any other distraction to come between ourselves and the holy name. Yes, don't allow your phone, don't allow anything else. Yes, just pray for Krishna's mercy. Pray for Krishna's mercy. Pray for association of Krishna's advanced devotees. Yes, this is also a prayer of Narottam Das Thakur. Yes, although he received the prema of Lord Chaitanya himself, he was always praying. And he said in Prema Bhakti Chandrika that he's really afraid that he will not be able to conquer these obstacles in devotional service. Therefore, I pray constantly, he says. Yes. Therefore, I pray constantly. So, if such a personality is constantly praying, what to speak of us? Yes, we should also pray constantly. And by the way, this is also an instruction of Lord Jesus. He said, pray constantly and never get tired of it. Yes. So we should connect with the holy name, which is most merciful manifestation of the Lord, and chant constantly. Yes. With deep hankering for bhava, for certain bhava to the Lord. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment? Yes, please.
What is in our sampradaya, in our tradition, what the understanding of different rasas, the conjugal and compared to both the 5 rasas, but also different moods like Aishwarya and Vaikuntha and more Madhurya, sweet mood in Goloka Vrindavan and so on. They are like objectively higher. This like Goloka Vrindavan is objectively a higher destination than Vaikuntha Vasi.
Yes. Although it is explained that any relationship with Krishna is perfect, and devotee situated in a certain relationship is completely convinced that this is ultimate perfection, and he is completely satisfied with this, with no desire to change his relationship. If we see these relationships objectively, as you said, it is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita that higher rasas include the lower rasas. So, Dasya rasa includes Shanti rasa, Shanta rasa, and Vatsalya rasa includes Shanta and Dasya, and Vatsalya rasa includes Shanta, Dasya, and Sakya, and Ujjvala rasa, or Madhura rasa, conjugal love, includes Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, and Vatsalya. So, from this comparison, is Ujjvala rasa, or conjugal love, is the highest. And it is very rarely, we cannot say attained, because it's not attained, it's bestowed, but even rarely hankered for. And just exceptionally, even by the greatest of devotees, we can see that not everyone is hankering for such relationship. We are given special opportunity by Lord Chaitanya to hanker for such highest rasas with the Lord. Yes, and we shouldn't take them cheaply, on one hand, but on the other hand, we should also not shun away from them, because then we rob ourselves of most precious jewel. Yes, so both is needed, to be very careful, but at the same time to hanker for it. Or if we don't hanker, to develop desire for it, for hankering for it. Yes. But to develop such desires, as we discussed yesterday, it's important to hear constantly and to associate with such devotees who have developed such desires, at least. Yes?
If a person is completely satisfied in their relationship, what is the objective measurement? If it is not the satisfaction of the devotee, because that is equal for everyone, what is the objective measurement that makes Madhurya or conjugal love higher?
As I mentioned, it includes all other relationships. And therefore experiences also all other types of ecstasies, and even more. Understand? So from this point of view, it is the highest And also Krishna is most pleased by this, as he himself explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is mentioned that he's not satisfied with this Vaidhi Bhakti. He's pleased by Madhurya Bhakti. And the highest expression of Madhurya, of this Raga Bhakti, is Madhurya or Ujjvala Rasa. And we also can see in this material world that people are ready to leave their fathers and mothers and friends and go with their beloveds. Yes. Hare Krishna.
In Bhakti-yoga Sindhu, it's explained that the love in Mathura is perfect, and Dvaraka more perfect, and Vrindavan most perfect. I was thinking, and it's always glorified.
Yes, the Dvaraka is perfect, Mathura is more perfect, and Vrindavan most, yes.
Yeah, and the love of in Vrindavan is always glorified as so sweet.
Yes.
So I was thinking, is it more sweet and kind of objectively more perfect dasaras in Vrindavan compared to Madhurya ras in Dvaraka, for example?
Yes, a very good question. Actually, this Dasya Rasa in Vrindavan is, in a sense, more genuine, we can say, if we can use this word at all. Because these Dasya devotees or servants of Krishna don't consider Krishna as the Lord of the universe. They have no conception of this. They accept Krishna as just as their loving master. But the queens in Dvaraka, they understand that Krishna is Lord, is the Lord. Yes. This is a difference. Of course, they have also Krishna prema, completely in love with Krishna. So, it's hard to say, of course. But when Gopakumar was traveling from one place to another, searching from the highest, searching for Krishna in Vrindavan, he finally came even from Dvaraka to Vrindavan to meet Krishna in Sakya Rasa. He had Sakya Rasa with Krishna. He didn't have conjugal love, but still he wanted to have a relationship with Krishna in Vrindavan. Although Sakya is of course below Madhurya, you can say. But it's more intimately connected with this oblivious that Krishna is the Lord idea. Yes. Krishna is just my friend. And I can ride on his shoulders. Yes. No one in Dvaraka can think like this. Yes. That he can ride on Krishna's shoulders. But friends in Vrindavan, they do ride on Krishna's shoulders. It's explained in Bhagavatam. Yes. The Sridham was riding on Krishna's shoulders. Yes. So, only by this we can understand this. By this understanding of Krishna being the Lord, and therefore I have a relationship with Krishna, with the Lord actually. This is the difference in quality of their love. Although maybe it's not so intense, who knows? I don't know. I don't experience either relationship with the Lord. I just try to hanker for it. So I can't say definitely. Hare Krishna. Gandharār Śrīmad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bol, Hare Krishna.